Back at it again with another discount SSD. Lego. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I have in my hands another SSD drive. This time this one is by Inland Professional. This is a 480 gigabyte SSD drive. I picked this guy up off of Amazon. It was like $72.99. And the difference between this one and that last one I reviewed, the Korani, is that this one actually has ratings. This thing has, I believe it was like 4.5 stars out of 5. I picked this up and I purchased it, so that was like very reassuring. A lot of people like this SSD, so I figured, you know what, it's probably worth the investment, so I picked it up. Now let me show you here. They are really touting, like, is that the word, touting? They are really like putting it in your face, let's just say, the speeds of this SSD. You can see it right here. It's on the front of the box, it's on the back of the box, it's even on the SSD. They're claiming read speeds up to 550 megabytes a second and write speeds up to 490 megabytes per second. So this is TLC, I think they call it, TLC NAND flash. So this is not like your newest flash that you'll probably find like in the Samsung. For what I hear, it's a shorter lifespan, but that really didn't bother me, especially considering what I'm going to use this thing for. What I'm going to use this for is going to be primarily and only a library drive for Final Cut Pro. I'm just trying to figure out ways that I can get Final Cut Pro to run faster on my 2010 Mac Pro Tower. And I've been doing a lot of research. First I found out, you know, use a scratch disk, that'll make it faster. So that's where the Korani came into play. And then I read, put your library on a separate drive than your OS. That's why I picked this guy up. So that's the only use this thing is gonna have. So I think it's gonna fare pretty well. Well, at least I'm hoping. But let's keep in mind those speeds that they're talking about, I'm not gonna get anywhere near those speeds because my Mac Pro and these Mac Pro towers, they only have SATA 2 and you have to have SATA 3 to even get these speeds. So I'm hoping with what they're claiming here, I get somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 300 read and maybe like 250 write. I'll be happy with that because like the hard drives that I have in there, I'm only getting like 120 read and 120 write. So this is a huge improvement, even if it is running in SATA 2. So I'm going to be running two types of tests on this little SSD here. The first test I'm going to be running is this chair. The first test I'm going to be running is a black magic test. So I'm gonna run that and see what kind of read and write speeds I'm actually gonna get from this little drive in SATA 2. And then the other test I'm gonna do is gonna be like a real world test. I'm gonna stick it in the machine, of course, and then I'm gonna move my library from Final Cut Pro from my hard drive over to this and see how flawless that is and if I see any speed increase. So I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride, but first I'm gonna get this thing installed. But you know what? I cannot stress enough. If you're gonna get an SSD drive and you're gonna put it in your Mac Pro Tower, your old Mac Pro Tower, pick up one of these, guys. Come on now. I've seen too many like YouTube videos where people buy SSDs for these machines and then they just stick it in the SATA 2 slot and they just let it dangle there. This was $11, okay? It looks like an icy dot, but it's made by a company called Cinco. $11 on eBay. It's worth it rather than having your SSD just dangle there with the possibility of damaging the SSD, your SATA 2 drive, or if you bump into your computer and it comes dislodged and you lose data. Come on now, $11. And this is not sponsored. There it is. Final Cut Pro 10 library disc. See there. I have 479.31 gigabytes available out of 479.76. So it's really close to the 480 that was advertised. And there it is in system settings. Nothing mentioning of trim. That is on or off. I don't know if that has anything to do with it not being the boot drive, but smart status is verified. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mackey, okay. Okay.
Now we're in Blackmagic Design. We're gonna see the read and write speeds. Now this Inland Professional has it in your face everywhere you look that you get speeds up to 550 MBS read and up to 490 write. Remind you, this is in a Mac Pro Tower with SATA 2, so I'm not going to get anywhere close to that, but let's see how well it does. At 249, you see that 250 right, and about 257 read. And then run it again. Of course, when you run it again, it's a little bit slower. 245 right. And looking at roughly 255, 256, 257. So I'll take that. Seems to be a little bit faster than that Qurani that I had, but I read that as SSDs increase in size, the speed gets faster. This is 480 gigabytes. That Qurani was only 120. I'll take that. That's leaps and bounds over what my hard drive was. Okay, so just for the heck of it, I want to show you the read and write speeds that I'm accustomed to. So I'm going to do that on my 3 terabyte 5400 RPM drive that I typically use for my Final Cut Pro library and Scratch, so I use it for both. This is what I'm used to, so this is the reason why I'm good. $125, $128, $129, right? 144, 143. So yeah, that's what I'm used to. So you're gonna give me double that speed, I'll take that. I'm cool with it not being the full SATA 3 speed. Here's the real world test. This is a video file I'm gonna copy over. It's about 4.7 gigabytes from that hard drive Hitachi I talked about, and I'm going to transfer it over to the Final Cut Pro library disk, which is the Inland Professional 480 gigabyte focus. So let's see how long it takes. Copy you and paste you. And then we're gonna have to switch to my other screen because it pops up on my other monitor over here. And there we go. It's going pretty fast. Keep in mind, like I said, it's coming from an HDD to a SSD. Seems to be going a lot faster than that Qurani was. I'll take that. Alright, so it's time to wrap up this video on the Inland Professional 480 gigabyte SSD. So what do I think about it? The 550 megabytes read and then 490 write. Well, of course, I'm not getting those speeds because I'm using SATA 2, but I think for what I'm using it for, it's going to be just fine. The only thing going on it is my Final Cut Pro 10 library. Do I think it's reliable? Time will tell. I mean, the reviews on Amazon are great. Like I said, 4.5 out of 5 stars. So I think it's gonna do well, hopefully. Got my fingers crossed, especially for what I'm using it for. It'll probably be a good pickup for you guys if you wanna like restore like a laptop that's getting a little sluggish, an older laptop. You can slap this in here for like $73 and have like a new laptop again. So I think that would be pretty cool. I wouldn't be afraid or too afraid to put an OS on this. But if you need a like SSD that's fast, say like for your PlayStation or for your computer, put your Steam games on here, save, you know, your photos or your videos, I think this would be a legitimate pickup. I'd be curious to see what the speeds are like in SATA 3, but in SATA 2 is far better than the HDDs that I've been working with in my 2010 Mac Pro. So I'll take this any day. Hey, if you guys like this video, do me a favor, give it a big old thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, you can do so. It's right down there below this video. Click the little button, subscribe, but don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. And until I see you, probably with another SSD, Audi 5000G.